Do you live life daringly? Do you live life daringly? And I'll be honest with you, this is live, and I'm practicing what I am even sharing on these videos as well too. Do you live life daringly? And let me see. Hopefully you guys are hearing everything good because I'm doing something I never did before. I'm actually doing it a totally different way. So it may come out a little different, but I'm living life daringly. And this is the message I want to even share with you this morning because I woke up this morning, and I'll tell you even why I did this here. I woke up, well, actually, this was yesterday, and I looked out my window and I saw some guys doing something. I'm going to show you. They were doing some work on top of this roof. So hopefully you can see what I'm showing you. They're doing some work on top of this roof here, and they were just moving around. They was actually shoveling off the snow, and it was amazing to watch because I was like, these are things that many of us would never even consider doing. They was up there shoveling off the snow. They were moving around, like some of them was like even running around, jump from one level to the next. And I'm gonna come back to here. There we go. So they were living life daringly. They were doing something that, like I said, many of us wouldn't even consider to do because we would be either too afraid. But you know what? They looked at the reward more than they looked at what might be scary to some. So I'll share with you this morning what I actually did was daring. I did this whole Facebook Live through another means where I'm able to bring another video in. And really, like at the last minute, things were not going right. So you saw I came on a little bit after 10 o'clock because I was just working things together. But I was daring. I was taking a dare. I was doing something because you know what? If you don't live life daringly, then you can never. It's I'm not gonna say it's just boring. You just will not really make any major advancements. We have to be willing to take some risks. Living life without taking risks it's I don't know the right word to put it, but it's not good. It's just not good to live life without taking any risks. We need to be willing to do things like that. And one of the ways I'll say that we can do that in regards to really be willing to take risks, because I'm actually, I have a logic background. I went to school for computer science, so I'm like really into programming, so I'm very much into logic. But I understand that we have to take risks sometimes, oftentimes, even to start a business or to make any real advancements, you have to be willing to take a risk. But one thing when I say thinking about logically is taking a risk. You always do some kind of, or you should do some kind of comparison. You should compare, okay, well, what is the potential loss that I may face versus what is the potential gain that I might enjoy? And I'll say oftentimes we'll find that the potential gains far outweighs any potential loss. The gains far outweigh any potential loss. So let's say it like this. The gains are like this, where the losses may be something like this. And we stop just because we look at the losses and don't consider the gains, and we get stopped, and we miss out on all this because of the potential of a loss. But if we look at that comparison and really think about it, quote unquote, logically, as I said, there's much more opportunity for us to make a massive gain or a massive increase by taking that risk, living daringly, as I'm saying. So dare to succeed. Many of us just live life, and remember, I'm here because I've been around death so often, so much. So I'm helping to teach people how to live, and just learning, sharing the lessons I've got about life because I've been around death so much. So many people don't take risks because they look at the potential of the loss. But remember, the gain is so much above, and we should actually look at that and let that really help to make us make up our mind or make our decision of what we should do. Now, as always, when I come on here, I love to put it in regards to the Bible, and not just the Bible, really what Christ did for us as well too. And there were many times that Christ actually put his life on the line for us. Yes, he came here to die, but even before then, he was putting his life on the line for us. One story I could think of in particular was the story of Lazarus, which I love the story of Lazarus from John chapter 11 because it's just so many aspects and parts of it where, actually, well, that's one, and there's other ones as well too, but he went places that people were going to be out for him. They were going to want to like kill him even before his time. So he put his life on the line for us. And one thing I love about it's learning about Christ is the Lord expects us to do the same thing as well too. Even to be a follower of Christ, we need to be willing to, as it says, lose our life. We need to be willing to put our own desires and put our own agendas on the line, or just kind of lose our life for his sake. And one of the beautiful things about that is he doesn't ask us to do something that he didn't do before. The Lord doesn't ask us to do anything that he didn't show us even by example. And not only does he do exactly the same, but he goes way above and does even that much more than he expects us to do. So he says we have to be willing to lose our life so that we can really gain it. But what did he do? He actually gave up his life for us to have life. So he went all the way, and he asks us just to lose our life. And for many of us, it's not even a literal lose your life. Just put your own plans aside sometimes. Put your own schedule aside so that you could do what the Lord wants you to do. That's how we can, quote unquote, lose our life. Well, many of us will go through losing our life. Yes, there were martyrs, and there are people definitely that are still physically losing their life. But the majority of us, we may not face that kind of a situation, but we can still put our lives on the line by putting our own things aside and doing what the Lord wants us to do. So in life, definitely just in life general, we have to be willing to take risks. Living risk-free is definitely overrated. We have to be willing to take some dares so we can enjoy that great gain, the potential of great gain. Don't look at the potential of loss, but really see how the gain can so far outweigh any loss. And then also consider what Christ did for us, and his sacrifice, his putting his life on the line for us, and then eventually not just putting it on the line, possibly, but eventually knowing and going dying on the cross for us as well too. All right. So with that, I want to encourage you again. Like I said, just being surrounded by death in the industry that I'm in, I've learned so many lessons about life that I want to share with you and help people to really live the life that the Lord intends for us to live. So with that, you get better at what you keep doing. So practice doing good things. And today's example, I'm gonna get better at this as well too. So hopefully, everything you saw, everything, heard everything okay. But look forward to seeing you tomorrow, 10 a.m. for 10 minutes.